Question, do you know how to make a woman horny? I'm not talking about getting a woman horny one time. I'm talking about the kind of horniness that is a state of being. Hello, I'm Caitlin V, your sex and relationship coach, and I have news for you. Horniness is a lifestyle, and there are ways to drastically increase a woman's general state of horniness. Many of those ways are going to surprise you. And yeah, that does mean having her more horny all of the time. You may know what you're doing in the bedroom. Maybe you've bought my She Comes 2 course and you know a whole bunch of sex techniques and tips and how to touch and lick and squeeze, but you might be surprised to hear that that is only one part of the equation. And honestly, it's not the most important part, because even if you are turning it out between the sheets, there is so much more that goes into a woman's general state of horniness, her baseline level of arousal. And that is what I'm gonna break down in this video. I am sharing with you my 5 tips for how to make her horny. Like horny, like horny. Number 1, understand brakes and accelerators. This is huge. All people have what is called the dual control model of sexuality. It simply states that we all have a sexual inhibitory system and a sexual excitatory system. Yes, that is right. I went to school for this. In fact, I went to the same school as the people who came up with the dual control model. Go Hoosiers! Translation. Think of all of us like a car. We all have a gas pedal, but we also have a brake pedal. Most men assume that in order to get a woman horny, they just have to push harder and harder on the gas. And this is why they start to introduce porn into the bedroom, or maybe they take her to a sex toy shop, or maybe they think that she just needs to be reminded of sex all of the time in order to want sex. Think of it this way. You can slam on the gas all that you want, but if you have one foot firmly locked on the brake, you're not going anywhere. If you really want to make her horny, it is equally as important to eliminate the brakes as it is to hit the accelerator. So what does that mean exactly? It means getting to know the things that turn her off and then getting rid of them. And brakes can take so many different forms. They're totally unique to each woman. Sometimes they're obvious, and sometimes they obviously are sexual, but sometimes they are not obvious and they're not sexual at all. So maybe it's a specific touch, like a super vanilla, energetic, feathery stroke just takes her out of the moment, or it tickles, or it reminds her of really unpleasant memory for her. Maybe it's that she worked out earlier and now she feels dirty and sweaty and she needs a shower first. Or maybe she feels insecure about her body in this lighting. It could be related to a work situation, being overloaded, a shitty situation that's come up with a friend or a family member. It could be a pile of dirty laundry or the dirty dishes stacked up in the sink. It could be just about anything. And it is going to take a little bit of time and effort between you both to figure out what are these sources of discomfort, of brake pedal, of turn off that are preventing her from letting go and being fully sexual with you. Maybe it's as simple as getting a babysitter so that she doesn't have to try to go directly from being mommy to sexy vixen lady, and she has some time to sort of decompress and switch roles in between. Number 2, make her feel desired. Now, here's something that men actually often forget. Women want to be horny. As a rule, they actually want to have sex. But in order to do that, they actually need to be made to feel safe, wanted, and desired inside and out of the bedroom. So I know that you might be thinking, Caitlin, I let my wife know all the time how hot she is, how sexy she is, how much I want her. I constantly grab her ass. I constantly spank her when she's not looking. I constantly send her messages about how badly I want her. I make winky signs. All of those things can be great, but if that's not her erotic language, she's gonna receive all of that as just unwanted and invasive. Take. Things that you want from her. I'm talking about giving to her. I am talking about giving her a sense that she is desired, giving her a sense that she is wanted, but from a safe distance, letting her know that you're thinking about her without coming up and just grabbing at her. Hey, if she's into that, then her erotic language lines up with your erotic language. But if you're watching this video and you want her to be hornier and want her to have sex more, you've got to ask yourself, what am I doing that is outside of her erotic language that I'm thinking is inside of her erotic language because it's your erotic language? What can I be doing that is inside her erotic language. You know, some women are really turned on by tease and anticipation. They want you to come up and whisper in their ear, oh, I can't wait to do all kinds of nasty things to you later. Or they want you to come up and gently graze their neck or pull their hair back and kiss the inside of their neck really delicately. And if you're going straight for like honk honk, that's not the language that she's able to receive in. So if you want her to be horny, you have to do it in a language that makes sense to her. See my videos on the erotic blueprints for more information on how to do that. The erotic blueprints are the erotic languages. Once you figure out what her language is, you can speak to her in it. I guarantee that she's gonna respond. And by the way, I can also guarantee that if she's not responsive, you are not speaking to her in the correct blueprint. But the quicker that you can figure out how to speak her blueprint, how to speak her erotic language, the quicker that you will get that green light that lets you know that you are doing it absolutely right. Number 3, make her feel seen. Women, as a general group, want to let loose. We want to come into our most powerful, most exciting sexual selves. And at the same time, we are also emotional beings, just like men. And we need a level of safety and care from our partners in order to do so. In order to really feel baseline horniness and baseline desire for you, we need to feel like you understand us. We need to feel like you see us, like you get us, like you're not judging us, like you wouldn't ask us to change, and that we are emotionally supported by you. When you begin to do this, she will actually be able to open up and get comfortable expressing herself sexually. You know, just like being able to have a clear communication, saying all the things that you've been afraid to say, right? Because we all have that stuff in our relationships. If you can be a safe listener, someone who can actually hear her say the things that she's afraid to say to you, she's going to be able to open up emotionally. She'll be able to open up in her communication, and she will be able to open up sexually. You know, it is a well-kept secret within the tantric world that the throat and the vulva are very, very, very closely connected. So if you want these lips to open, you've got to get these lips to open. Shout out Esther Perel for that little truth bomb. Showing her that you value her way beyond her body is one of the best ways to get a woman to relax and be able to receive. And it also is one of the hottest qualities that you can have as a man. So show her that you care and watch her blossom into that sexual, horny being that she is capable of being. Number 4, take care of yourself. Gentlemen, there is no easy way to say this. If you are out here looking like Oscar the Grouch, how do you expect her to get horny for you? Taking care of yourself not only does wonders for your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your general success in life, but it goes such a long way in making the woman you desire horny for you. Now, of course, there's the obvious factor that taking care of yourself will make you look better. It will make you feel better, both on the inside and the outside. But then there's the fact that taking care of yourself is actually a compliment to her. Because when you're working on yourself with a growth mindset, working to reach your goals, grooming yourself, being attentive to how you present yourself. By the way, I have so many YouTube videos on how to groom and present yourself. When you're doing those things, she receives the message that you think she is worth the effort. This does not go in one direction. I hear all the time from guys who are like, she's stopped trying. She's let herself go. Well, it goes the other way around. Men also let themselves go. Men also stop trying. And when you stop trying, you're sending her the message that you think she deserves a slob. You think she deserves to be with someone who doesn't try. And this is especially important in long-term relationships where you have a comfortable way of being together. Both men and women are guilty of letting themselves go. You stop dressing up for each other. Maybe you don't get regular haircuts anymore. Maybe you don't hit the gym. Maybe you think to yourself, who have I got to impress? Her! You have her to impress. Taking care of yourself will make her want you more. It will make her hornier for you in general. Trust me, when she sees a woman eyeing you up and down at Costco because you are looking so fine, that is gonna inspire in her, oh yeah, you know what? My guy is pretty fine. Maybe I should jump him in a loving, consensual way and not at Costco. That's awkward for all of us. Which brings me to number 5, play the seduction long game. If your seduction game is getting a little lazy, getting creative with it will go a long way to making your lady horny. If you pretty much have your seduction game down and it basically boils down to reaching over, grabbing her ass, grabbing her boobs, and then trying to insert yourself inside of her, then you're probably leaving something to be desired. And by probably, I mean 100% leaving a lot to be desired. Women are all about foreplay. We need it in a way that you may never understand, and that's okay. All you need to understand is that you have to warm her up for her to feel horny to begin with. I've talked before in my videos about the difference between responsive and spontaneous desire, but the bottom line here is that sometimes we women need to be reminded that sex is great in order to get into wanting sex. So instead of relying on your same two moves of the reach and grab to remind her that sex is great, when really all that reminds her is that you want things from her that she may be reluctant to give you, think about different ways that you can seduce her and let her know your interest. So for example, your girl's bent over, getting hot cookies out of the oven, and your instinct is to slap her ass. I get it, instant gratification, clear way of communicating that you want her, and it can feel good. I love a spanking myself. But instead, how about you just send her some desirous energy? How about you look at her, think about how badly you want her, send her the nonverbal message, I'd like to smack your ass right now, and then don't. But then later, tell her how hot she looked and how you wanted to slap her ass. For most of us, knowing that we are desired is way hotter than our partner just coming up and letting us know for sure. Again, the anticipation, the tease, knowing that you restrained yourself, but you are thinking about tearing off her clothes. That is a subtle distinction, but if you've been letting her know that you want her through the old-fashioned ways, honk honk, then trying to switch it up is really important because women need novelty. We need to be reminded how great sex is, and we need to feel safe in your desire for us. There you have it. 5 things that I bet you didn't know about how to make a woman truly baseline, consistently way of being horny. But remember, getting her all riled up is only half the battle. So if you want to learn literally everything about how to please a woman in bed, orgasms guaranteed, check out my course, She Comes To. It is an in-depth masterclass on female pleasure. It is absolutely my masterpiece. It is my Mona Lisa, at least my first Mona Lisa. It's the thing I'm the most proud about that I give to you. I am Caitlin B. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I will see you here next time.